Gemini, my twins. Here's your reading, Gemini, for May 2019. This reading here, Gemini, can be used for your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node signs. And before we get started, Gemini, just as a reminder, this is a general reading. So the best thing to do, Gemini, the energies and messages that resonate, just go ahead and apply them to how they fit, to whom they fit, and to where they fit. All right, Gemini. I'm kind of picking up, Gemini, maybe this month you may be very concerned about your outer appearance, whether it's your clothing, whether it's your vibration, whatever it may be. I feel like there's a real, concern about the outer exterior of who you are there during this time, or during this month, I should say. So Gemini, happy birthday too as well, Gemini. Happy birthday to all the Geminis out there. Okay, Gemini, so before we get started here too, I want to go ahead and let you know what I was picking up and what came through as I was meditating on your energy and on your sign here. So Gemini, what came through was very interesting. I guess a quote or the sentence that came through was, "All of these gifts I impart upon you." I was like, okay, that's just what came through. Also too, Gemini, very interesting. The movie that I think it was Heath Ledger's last movie in 2009, his last film. It's called The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. That movie came through. It was very interesting. I never had a movie come through during a reading before, but hey, we're going with it, right? So The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. All right, Gemini, that's what came through. And also too, the song by Aqua, Barbie Girl, I don't know why that came through. That may be for someone out there. I'm not sure how it's going to relate to the reading here. But hey, maybe it could be like a sign, a significator, whatever the case may be. But that's what came through. I'll go ahead and let you know everything that came through. Anyway, Gemini, let's go ahead and get started on your spread here. So for the heart of the matter, Gemini, you popped out the Three of Swords here. For what's in your mindset or what are you ruminating over this month, the Ten of Wands. What's in your foundation or what are you resting upon? The Empress here. The energies that you're leaving behind or walking away from this month, Gemini, is the Justice card here with the Five of Cups here as well. And the energies that you're walking into or what can be expected this month, Gemini, or what's ahead of you, is the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups here as well. Maybe some of you could maybe be dealing with an Aries individual, maybe a Taurus, possibly. Maybe a Libra as well. I know I picked up Scorpio too right now. Very interesting. Maybe even a Cancer. All right. All right, Gemini, give me a second to tune into this and see what this month has in store for you. Gemini, this month I'm feeling like there's a real battle or deliberation with like your heart and mind or your heart and head, something to that effect where it's like you've already come to the conclusion, Gemini, about an issue, and it's acceptance is coming along, I feel. And I just heard it's been a long time coming regarding acceptance in whatever context that may be for you, Gemini. But what I'm feeling, like I said, it's here. It's really like, the worst has come. The worst has happened. You know what I mean? And at least that's what's coming through, Gemini. And I feel like the only way or the only direction is up or forward from this point forward. And also too, Gemini, there's something here too, like regarding like you were starting to recognize that you are, like, how can I say, like you're the creator or the orchestrator. Orchestrator, is that a weird word? You're the creator, Gemini, of like your reality, and also you're realizing too, and you're recognizing how your thoughts and how your perception of things and your approaches to situations, people, places, and things, like I said, your approach to it, your perception of it is kind of what's creating a little bit of your misery. I know that sounds a little rough, and I don't mean it as so, but that's just kind of the best way I can describe at least what's coming through for you, Gemini, right now. Like it's like this, Gemini, like if you decide to be miserable, you'll be miserable. If you decide to be happy, you'll be happy, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Nothing that has to do with denial. I'm not getting or feeling any denial here. I mean, with the Three of Swords as a heart of the matter for you, I mean, there's no denying whatever you may be dealing with this month, you know? So denial is completely out of the loop here. Just wanted to make that clear here. It's more about just realizing, Gemini, like how powerful your thoughts are, how recognizing and realizing how really your perception is your reality, and you're the master of your sea. You're the master of your thoughts and your reality as well. Hope that makes sense here, Gemini. What I can also see here too is Gemini, like what you're walking away from or what you're leaving in the past this month. It's almost, Gemini, like you are you're starting to become more honest with yourself. You're starting to really go within a lot more than usual, right? Now, and as a result of this, in a positive sense here, because it is positive, you're kind of, Gemini, like you're no longer placing the blame, or you're no longer trying to find the culprit, trying to not place the blame, I guess, on someone, something, whatever it is that you may be dealing with. But most importantly, Gemini, you are no longer like dealing with yourself in terms of like, because this happened, or it's like this, Gemini, because A happened, now I must feel like this because this is B. Like you're no longer doing that anymore. And it's almost too, Gemini, like you are no longer agreeing with sitting in like your misery or sitting in disappointment. You are coming out of that now. You're also giving yourself, okay, thank you. You're also giving yourself a lot of, compassion, and you're also giving yourself a lot of forgiveness right now during this time. You're also, like I said a little bit earlier, you're coming to this point or to this pinnacle of acceptance. You know what I mean? And this is a very, very subconscious but slow thing that's coming. I feel like it's like a long time coming in a sense. That's what I'm kind of getting here. The song by, I want to say it's Buddy Miles. A long time coming. Either Buddy Miles or it could be Otis Redding. It's one of them. I want to say it's Buddy Miles though. I'll go ahead and put it on the screen, a caption here at the bottom for you. The artist of the song and the title of it as well, Gemini, the one that I'm referring to. But yeah, Gemini, it's really it's like giving yourself, like I said, the compassion, and you're really walking away from placing the blame not only on yourself and not only on other individuals. Not you're no longer becoming like the victim of your misery. That's the best way I can describe it, Gemini. I'm glad to see that. You know what I mean? And Gemini, as I always say on this channel, and I'm going to continue to say, to everyone that or to every sign, every person that it comes up, and it's coming up for you, Gemini, there's no wrong and there's no right. There's perspective. You know what I mean? And I know that that's a hard one for us humans to wrap around our head, but that's the reality of this dimension that we're in. You know what I mean? And when we can come to that precipice in our life, when there's no right, there's no wrong, there's perspective. You know what I mean, Gemini? When we get there, there's no right, there's no wrong, there's no better, there's no worse. It's just perspective. You know what I mean? We may use those terms very loosely and very frequently in everyday communication. But when it really comes down to it, that's what it is, Gemini. It's all about perspective. And I feel like you're starting to embody that. You're starting to realize that. You're starting to come into your own regarding developing your own perspective and being okay with that. And no longer, like I said, placing the blame on yourself, on other people, on other individuals. There's no need to get even as well. That's what I'm kind of getting here. So you're leaving all of that behind, Gemini. Hope that makes a little bit of sense here for you, Gemini. Okay, interesting. I'm being guided to talk about like duality. Okay, so we come down here, Gemini. We incarnate here on Earth, Gemini, to learn about duality. You know what I mean? To learn about wrong, right, black, white. You know what I mean? Like polar opposites. We're here to learn about like duality and merge together polar opposites to come to a medium. You know what I mean? Where it's perspective. I hope that makes sense too, Gemini, for you. Okay, interesting. All right, Gemini. They want me to go a little bit further on that. So when we're here to learn about the duality, right? We're here to learn about this. And when we don't place the blame, you know what I mean? Because when we do the right, wrong, bad, good, when we do all of that, we then are in duality. And the point is to not, when you come down here, to learn about it so that then we don't stay in duality. Right? So then what this does is when we stay in duality and we do the right, wrong, bad, good, you know what I mean? Those types of situations, when we veer to one end, whether that's, you know, the negative or the positive end, whatever that end may be, when we do that, Gemini, what we tend to do is we tend to not know our own truth. And also too, what that does to Gemini is we tend to go with what the consensus says usually, to kind of blend in. And also too, Gemini, when we do that as well, what this does is this places judgment on top of individuals, people, places, and things when we do the right or wrong thing. You know what I mean? And then what that ends up doing is then that person, place, or thing that we place that judgment upon, we then don't get their perspective. We then don't develop compassion and exhibit and give compassion and witness, have compassionate witnessing, you know what I mean? That doesn't happen. And also too, we then, when we place the blame, right, or the onus, the bad, whatever it may be, we then cast that judgment, right? We disservice ourselves in the long run. We don't give the compassion. And then also too, Gemini, that then that individual, person, place, or thing that we judge or we place judgment upon, that individual, person, place, or thing then feels not understood. And then that further leads to like retaliation, that then further leads to a clash of perspectives. You know what I mean? And then that person, place, or thing that we place the blame on, they then, or it then feels that the need to act out. You know what I mean? Now, we can't control what other people's actions are, but we can control as to our additive to it, or take our own emotional responsibility for our active participation. Are we done there? Okay. Hope that makes sense for you, Gemini. So you're walking away from the duality. You're walking away from placing judgment. You're walking away from wanting things to be fair, because fair is cool. It's good, but interesting, Gemini. It's like, I think we're done, and then it comes back again. So I feel like review time is a lot during this time. So back to fair, Gemini. It's like things are always going to work out the way that they're supposed to, even though we may not see it that way within the situation or within the mire of the situation, you know? Okay. What you're walking into, Gemini, or what you can expect this month, it's really being comfortable with your decisions and being comfortable with who you are, Gemini, and also merging together your masculine, your feminine sides. Once again, the polar opposites, bringing them together and having a healthy medium, or finding a healthy medium, knowing when to take charge, knowing when to be passive, knowing when to use your logic, and knowing when to use your intuition, or when to use both together to make a sound decision, whatever that may be for you. And you're really developing this, bringing these polar opposites together, Gemini, to really make up who you truly are and who you truly know you are. Also, I look at the Two of Cups too, Gemini, as like, as sometimes merging our human body, our humanness, with our spirit body. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Merging them together so that then we become a spiritual being, and where we recognize that we're multidimensional, and that we also recognize that everything happens for a reason, and there's nothing that we can't handle that gets placed up are thrown upon us. Okay, I just got corrected to not say thrown upon us, because nothing gets thrown on us. It's whatever comes our way, Gemini. We must look at it as what can we learn from the situation, and what can we take away from the situation that can further our spiritual development and spiritual evolution. And always know, Gemini, that God is always big enough to pick us up right where we fall every single time. All right, Gemini, that completes your reading here, Gemini, for May 2019. Go ahead and visit intuitiveperceptions.com for the extended reading for you this month for May. There, Gemini will go over the door that's now open, the door that's now closed, any unconscious fears, and also to Gemini, any potential blocks moving forward, and we'll also clarify a couple of the placements here that we have here for you as well this month. Basically, Gemini, to answer the who, what, when, where, and whys for you this month for $4.44. That's how much the extended reading is. All right, Gemini, keep your head up. You're going to be okay. Your perception is your reality. And you're really starting to realize that, Gemini. And I'm super, super glad and super happy for you, Gemini, that you're growing spiritually. And that's the goal when we incarnate down here as well. It's one of the goals. All right, Gemini, as always, God bless and love and light.